Three stocks in which I'm buying right now, and to start this off, let's take a look at AMD. So it's clear to say that AMD does look to be at a big level of resistance right now. It's at $118 with its resistance being at around the $120. It's fair to say if it does close above this line within the end of this week or the start of next week, this stock could go absolutely parabolic. Of course, we have seen AMD fall down significantly now for the last few months, and I did actually say before December, I think AMD is a bit of a shit stock, and it's not something in which I wanted to be holding at the time. People told me I was stupid, and I even took a look at myself at that time, and I was like, maybe I am stupid. Maybe I'm not seeing the big picture here. But since then, it just continued to fall massively, and essentially what I said would happen did happen. But now I still think AMD looks massively overvalued, but according to this current momentum, it could definitely break out, and I'm not going to miss an opportunity just because I think a stock looks overvalued. I'm going to definitely gain some of that momentum. So what is the current reasoning behind AMD? So we're going to start with a middle slide here for some reason. So AMD's current price is obviously at $118, barely just below its big level of resistance. It's gained 14% in May, which is absolutely huge. Again, the momentum is definitely behind it. On a technical overview, currently there is consolidation below key resistance levels, of course, with the fundamental highlights being a Q1 revenue growth of 36% year over year to 7.4 billion. Analysts have set price targets ranging from 132 to 225 for AMD for the next year. So we can see here on a price target basis that AMD does definitely look to be undervalued according to the analysts. However, AMD is currently at a PE of 85, which when you compare it relative to its peers of, that's the complete wrong stock, of Nvidia and Intel. Intel doesn't have a PE, but Nvidia's PE is around 50. So compared to its peers, it's definitely more overvalued. So there is definitely that in which is going against it. But on a price target, of course, it looks to be still in a good position. On a MACD, we can see here when it decides to load, if I delete this down here, we can see that the MACD is actually in a long position, which is incredibly bullish. So if we do take this over to my parameter set on whether or not this is a good stock to be buying into for a momentum trade, we can see, is it undervalued? Well, according to the analysts, yes. According to me, no. So I'm going to put that as a line. I don't know why I've got a glitter pen. You're going to have to just imagine that's a cool looking pen. On the MACD, is it on a bullish crossover? Yes. Is it trading above the 50 EMA? Most likely yes, but let's just double check. So it is actually trading above all of the EMAs apart from the 200-day, which is incredibly strong, but we would actually like to see that 200-day. But again, I'm not saying that you should be buying this stock right now. That 200-day is bang on the 120 price. So again, that is the key level of resistance. And I think as soon as it does cross over that $120 range on a close, this stock could go absolutely parabolic from here, and we could see it climb all the way back up for the tail end of this year. So it is going to be crossing that soon. So again, definitely something to be watching. Analysts rate it undervalued, definitely. And does it have price action breakout confirmation? Well, pretty much yes, it is closing above its previous highs relatively consistently. So there you go. AMD looks to be a great buy, especially once it does cross over this 200-day EMA, which is going to be absolutely key. But of course, we are expecting to see that within maybe the tail end of this week, because that 200-day EMA does obviously line up perfectly with its levels of resistance here. So now we're going to be moving on to Eli Lilly. So this is a healthcare stock, and basically their current price is at 765. I should really change this pen, shouldn't I? Its 52-week high is 972, which is really good because I do like to see stocks chasing their highs again. It's similar to a trade in which I did with a B&M stock, a UK stock. It was all the way down. I bought in when I saw a bit of momentum, and it chased back a bit of its momentum. It didn't actually climb all the way back up, but it's really nice to see when a stock actually has a projection and something to chase again. It shows it's been there before, and it could potentially go there again. So it's trading at approximately 21% below its previous 52-week high, which again shows that there is a potential for it to climb back up. Its recent upwards momentum suggests a potential reversal from previous downward trends. And whilst this stock is currently not in a Breakout, Eli Lilly shows signs for potential upward trend with strong fundamentals. So I actually have this stock to be massively undervalued. So I do think this stock looks to be something that could climb up massively. I did actually recently do a healthcare video. Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, Hims and Hers, Oscar Health, United Health, they were all features on that video, and Eli Lilly ranked third with Novo coming in at first. So I have actually just done a breakout video, a momentum video, and Novo was on that list. So that is also a good stock, but if you are interested in Novo, go check out that video. So we can see here, if we go to our parameter set, is this stock currently undervalued? Well, yes, despite it having a PE of approximately 50, I would still say this stock looks overvalued. I'm going to change this pen now because that's hardly visible. So it is definitely undervalued. Is it in a MACD bullish crossover? Well, if we bring up the MACD indicator, we can see that it isn't, so that's not ideal, but the momentum does look to be as if that will close off into a long position, and when it does, we can expect it to add more momentum to the stock. Is it trading above its 50-day EMA? Well, let's take a look at that as well, and it just about is. With it starting to play around, no, that's the 20-day, sorry. It's starting to play around the 50-day moving average, so that's something in which we could look for to be a bit better. I think this stock is in very early stages of a potential breakout. I'm not saying it is breaking out, but it's something to watch. Similar with all of these stocks, by the way. I'm not saying you should buy these right now. In reality, you should be waiting and paying a bit of a premium for these stocks to have confirmation that they are breaking out. Apart from Meta, which we will get onto. Trading above the 200-day EMA, well, obviously not. Do analysts think it's undervalued? I can tell you for a fact now that they definitely do, so that's a certain tick. And finally, price action, a confirmation of the breakout. Well, not quite. I do think that it's fair to say that we are consistently closing above the previous close, so that is incredibly strong, but I would like to see this go a bit further for this stock. Where are the key levels of resistance though? Well, the next level of resistance is at 800, nearly 797, which is about 4-5% from where the current price is. So it's fair to say that it does look to be as if it's quite far away from its next level of resistance. So buying in now it is not necessarily a bad thing, but when it does reach that resistance, if it does break through, I do expect it to climb up to where I've put this, approximately 20%. And it could go much further from that, especially if you consider the price targets from the analysts. So a great stock to be keeping an eye on, maybe not potentially breaking out just yet, similar to AMD. So it's something to hold your horses on, wait for a bit more confirmation, and then you can momentum trade this and take some nice juicy profits. So now let's move on to Meta. So Meta is definitely already in a momentous position. This is something in which you can get into now and potentially already see the returns. There's no levels of resistance apart from up here where it has its all-time highs. And to be fair, I like to see that. That's really positive. It shows to me that this is going to be chasing its all-time highs. It will at least get close to it, and if it does get to it, there's a good chance with this current momentum that it will break through it and just continue to climb. I do really like to see that, but again, I would be adjusting my trailing stop. Well, it should do it for you if you do a CFD, but if you're not on a CFD account, then you will be adjusting your trailing stop for yourself, essentially locking in your profit. So again, price targets for Meta currently look to be ideal. They're a maximum of 33% from where they currently are. It's definitely in a long position on the MACD indicator here, and it will be above all of its exponential moving averages. So again, affirming that this currently looks to be a good stock to be momentum trading. So is it undervalued? Well, according to my formulas, it is. Is it in a bullish MACD crossover? Yes, it is. Is it trading above the 50-day EMA? Yes, it is. 200? Yes, it is. Undervalued? Kind of. The mean isn't really there for them, but on the high side, it does look to be undervalued according to the analysts, and a price target and price action breakout confirmation. So Meta does look to be something in which can be successfully momentum traded right now. And just because this video has 3 stocks on it, these are just 3 in which I'm going in depth into. There's many more momentum stocks in the market at the moment, such as Spotify, Nvidia to an extent, Hims and Hers, which has actually slowed down, but there is many more. And if you are keen on momentum trading or learning to momentum trade, then do hit a like and subscribe, because I'm going to start putting these videos out a bit more often, is what I'm trying to get at here. So if you are a keen investor, please do consider it. But of course, we can't just go off of fundamentals and charts, because we need to understand what the actual market is thinking currently. And well, on a fear and greed index, this is at 60, which is actually indicating that we are in a quite a greedy market currently. There is a bit of FOMO. This market is definitely starting to head up. And if we do look at the general S&P here, we can see that we are obviously climbing. People like Tom Lee are indicating that this could go absolutely parabolic from here, whereas in my opinion, I think that we can expect to see a little sell-off in the next couple of weeks, because I do think this is a bit unsustainable, especially with CEO confidence falling. But then I do think from there we will see the markets potentially climb up quite significantly, with a potential upside from here of around 6% within the S&P, and I don't really think it will go too much further than that. But of course, it all depends on if we do manage to break through the previous all-time highs within the S&P. And if you do want to do your own due diligence on some stocks, take into account what you've just seen now and really interrogate it for yourself. Well, these are the stocks in which are breaking out massively. We got Microsoft, which is definitely breaking out, but for me, it's just a bit small. You know, it's a very stable stock, Microsoft. It's a bit boring, but it's definitely breaking out. It's a more sustainable breakout than AMD, for example. We have Robinhood, in which I've previously just done a video on. This is just going absolutely insane with momentum currently. The trade desk is definitely climbing up massively, as well as App Loving. So take a look through all of these. Anything highlighted in gold here is a potential momentum stock. Of course, that does look to be a lot of stocks, and this formula is a bit biased. So personally, I would focus on the top 20 of these. And very quickly on the macroeconomic conditions of the US market, my own formula, in which has a health score for the macros, essentially indicates that the health score is at 66 out of a potential 150 ideal health score. And this goes into many factors, from CPI to labor markets to you name it. This probably has it, and it doesn't look to be as if the macros are in a very sustainable position currently. But this isn't actually back tested, so it could be intrinsically pretty much fucked. So let me know in the comments, what stocks are you watching for a potential momentous breakout? And I would like to know, because I would like to look into them myself. With that being said, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do these videos for free for you guys, so a potential like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, I'll see you for the next one.